It was supposed to be a quiet month. Just me, my plants, my books, and the soft echo of an empty house. But that quiet was shattered the moment he arrived. I didn't know it then, but opening my door that night was the same as opening a door I could never close again. It began on a rainy Wednesday. The kind of rain that doesn't just fall, it presses against the windows like it wants to come inside. Denise, my roommate and longtime friend, had just left for Europe. A month-long art residency she had dreamed about for years. Before she left, she asked me a favor. One I should have thought twice about. Her 23-year-old son, Jordan, needed a place to stay. His new apartment wasn't ready yet, and rather than crash on a friend's couch or live out of bags, she wanted him somewhere safe. Safe. Ironic, considering what happened next. I hesitated at first. Not because I didn't trust him. Jordan had always been respectful, kind. But my life had become quiet after heartbreak. Morning tea. Muted jazz. Late-night novels. I was used to the silence, to living alone. And after my last relationship, I swore I wouldn't make space for someone who wouldn't stay. But then the knock came. He stood at the door with a single duffel bag, damp from the drizzle. "Hey, Miss Melanie," he said softly, eyes warm. "Hope I'm not intruding." I remember laughing, though it came out shaky. "You're not. Just, haven't had a man in this house for a while." His grin twitched, a mix of nerves and charm. "Then I'll tread carefully." That night, he cooked garlic butter salmon, a recipe he'd perfected at college. The kitchen smelled alive, brighter than it had in years. I watched him move around like he belonged there. We ate in silence at first, then slowly, the conversation bloomed. My garden. His music. My books. His photography. When I finally went to bed, I paused outside my room, listening to him laugh to himself as he set up in the guest room. Something had shifted. I couldn't name it then, but for the first time in years, I didn't feel lonely. The days that followed blurred into something dangerous. Not dangerous in the way of broken glass or sirens, but dangerous in the way hearts beat faster when they shouldn't. We woke at the same time. I'd walk into the kitchen in my robe, and he'd already be there shirtless, stirring coffee like he owned the morning. "Morning," he'd whisper, voice rough, eyes lingering. It was nothing obvious at first. Just small things. His leg brushing mine during a movie. His laugh echoing a little too long. The way he found reasons to be in the same room, even when he didn't need to be. But then came the night of the blackout. The storm raged, and the lights died. I lit candles. Shadows flickered across the walls. He sat close, too close, telling me about a girl he once cared for who never really saw him. His voice was steady, but his eyes held mine like a secret. When I shivered, he didn't ask. He just placed his hoodie over my shoulders. "I like seeing you warm," he whispered. I should have stopped him then. Should have created distance. But closeness didn't feel wrong. It felt inevitable. One night, I was folding laundry in my bedroom when he walked in with 2 mugs of tea. He sat on the edge of my bed without asking. "You always do everything alone," he said. I froze, the towel slipping in my hands. "That's just how I'm used to it," I replied quietly. "You shouldn't have to be." His words hung there, heavy, filling the room with something we both pretended not to see. When our fingers brushed over the tea, I didn't pull away. I let them linger. Too long. On purpose. That night, I dreamed of him. Not with lust, but with stillness, ordinary moments that felt extraordinary. And when I woke up, heart racing, I realized I didn't want it to be just a dream. It was another storm when it happened. The kind where thunder shakes the windows and the world feels small, fragile. A knock at my door. "Power's out again," he said, holding a flashlight. "Want some company?" I should have said no. But I didn't. He placed the flashlight on my nightstand, filling the room with a soft glow. Then he sat, not on the chair, not at the edge of the room, on my bed. Close. Too close. We talked. About loneliness. About love. About the way silence can feel heavier than noise. "I used to think I was hard to love," I whispered. "You're not hard to love," he said firmly. You've just been loving alone too long." The silence that followed was dangerous. I turned to put my book away, and my robe slipped from one shoulder. Not on purpose. But when I looked back, his eyes didn't move away. "You're beautiful," he breathed. And something in me broke, not from pain, but release. Years of holding back, gone in an instant. I kissed him. Softly, carefully, testing. And when he kissed me back, the room didn't feel dark anymore. We didn't rush. We didn't cross every line. We simply lay there, his arm wrapped around me as the storm raged outside. For the first time in years, I didn't feel alone. The next mornings blurred into a rhythm that felt too natural to be temporary. Coffee waiting for me. His laughter in my kitchen. His hands fixing the little things around the house. He didn't just stay here. He belonged here. But the more he belonged, the more reality whispered at the edges. One evening, as I cooked, he came up behind me. His lips brushed the back of my neck. My body stilled. The room felt alive, charged. We crossed that final line that night. Slowly, tenderly. Not in hunger, but in something deeper. When it was over, he didn't roll away. He held me tighter. And I cried, not from shame, but because I finally felt wanted. But the morning after, guilt crept in like a thief. His mother. My friend. What would she say if she knew her son's laughter was echoing through my bedroom, not just my halls? And yet, every time I tried to imagine sending him away, I froze. Because I was falling. Weeks passed. It wasn't stolen glances anymore, it was a life. Cooking together. Folding laundry together. Falling asleep in each other's arms every night. It was love, though neither of us dared say it aloud. One Saturday morning, the phone rang. It was Denise. She was back in town early. The walls of my house seemed to close in. The air grew heavy. We didn't speak much that day. Finally, I told him, "Maybe it's time you go back to your place, just for a while." He didn't argue. He just looked at me with a sadness I'll never forget. "You're scared," he said. "And maybe I should be too. But I'm not. Because I've never wanted something this real before." And then, he left. The silence after was unbearable. Every corner of the house held his shadow. The smell of his cologne on my pillow haunted me. I tried to go back to my quiet life. But the quiet had become unbearable. Until one night, another knock at the door. It was him. His eyes nervous, his voice trembling. "I don't care what people think," he whispered. "I care how I feel when I'm with you. And I've never felt more myself than when I'm in your arms." I didn't reply. I just pulled him in. This time, we didn't stumble into love. We walked straight toward it. I used to think love only came in your 20s. In neat packages, with rings and wedding vows. But sometimes love shows up late. Unexpected. Sometimes it arrives on your doorstep with nothing but a duffel bag and a smile. And ends up staying forever. If this story stirred something deep in you, like this video, share it and subscribe for more stories that make your heart race and your soul ache.